I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Hello, everyone. We are live for episode 24 of the Sports Senseis Unleashed. I'm your one half host, Drew Willingham, along with the other half host, the Snowman, Brian Snow, about to go on vacation, but it's not quite there yet because we have one more episode to do before he goes.
Yeah, not yet, but I'm looking forward to the next week, just having some time away with my bride and us traveling and doing some driving, cranking up the classic rock music and having the windows down and singing at the top of our lungs. It's a celebration for Jody and I can't wait.
I look forward to hopefully seeing a video clip of that. Send it to me so I can let you know to not quit your day job. I'm going to need you to come back, Snowman.
I'll be back, Snowman. I know I can't carry a tune to save my life. Look, my wife is convinced I can sing. Me, I already know better. But we're gonna have a ball. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun.
Well, if you want a chance to maybe see one of those videos, you can check Snowman out here at his plugs right here on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as at snowmanmultimediasports.com. Speaking of Snowman Multimedia, you can check him out at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and at YouTube, as well again at snowmanmultimediasports.com. This ugly mug right here on the far right of your screen, you can find on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as at SIRTOBA.com. Where the struggle is real to be awesome. And speaking of the struggle is real, you can find me at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And it was hard to get through that without dying laughing because of the ugly mug. Welcome to episode 24. Snowman is having a hilarious meltdown here on episode 24 of the Sports Sensei. Well, even though Snowman will be...
You realize you got to cut the daylight side of this now, right?
Oh, yeah. That's definitely going into a commercial. Definitely going to a commercial.
That you realize you have to cut the daylight side of this.
Now, speaking of cuts and things to prep for,
yes,
61 days ago, things changed for me, but 4 days from now, it all comes back. As Kyle Nash and I bring back episode 91 of the In or Out Sports Debate next Tuesday at 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Check us out on SIRTOBA Media's sites, as I mentioned right here, without trying to die laughing. Other than that, Snowman, we have a great show for today. Four great topics to discuss within the world of sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want you to get too far into vacation mode yet, because we got four great topics to discuss before you check on out of here.
I can stay in vacation mode and still stay in Sensei mode, but
Okay.
you know I am just so charged up. I'll talk more about this at the tail end of the show.
Yeah, because like as you know,
Yeah,
we
I
definitely
will.
want to cover that there at the end for the
Let's.
update section of the Sports Sensays.
Yep.
But other than that,
I'm so
guys,
glad I handed you producer duties for this show because you do a much better job than I. You and Cole. Let's go. What's leading off?
well, thank you for that. I appreciate that, Snowman. That'll help me charge into the future as we have to start this off with the XFL.
Mm,
The XFL lost $60 million during the 2023 season. Will they bounce back in 2024? Snowman, how do you feel about this one?
I think they will. I think they will bounce back.
You
I
think they will?
I believe that. I believe they will bounce back. I see Vegas. Vegas is one of the reasons that they lost a whole hell of a lot of money because they're playing in a baseball stadium. They're playing in a baseball specific stadium instead of Sam Boyd Stadium on the campus of Nevada, Las Vegas. But I think there were scheduling conflicts there, and they're not going to they're not going to trust the XFL with Allegiant Stadium because that's all Rebels and um, Raiders right
Mm-hmm.
now. So Vegas is either going to have to go to Sam Boyd or beg them to use Allegiant Stadium to draw some fans because the interest is there. The interest is there. But Rod Woodson and the Vegas Vipers have agreed to part ways. They have to find a coach that's going to bring a winning product onto the field. And I think where they really lost a lot of money, and I know I'm going to get pushback from Dietz. And Dietz, you bring up a valid point of why the XFL championship was not held in St. Louis. I get that. I understand why it wasn't held in St. Louis. But at the same time, the interest is in St. Louis. But Dietz's pushback is a very valid one. If the championship game of the XFL is held in St. Louis and there's a Cardinals game that same weekend, where are they going to go? They're going to go see the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Because I mean, look at the St. Louis Cardinals history, and they've
Yeah,
never left the city, or at least since they've been there.
right.
So they've got more ties to the city, and people are going to be more loyal to the Cardinals than any other team that would be in that area. As we learned with the St. Louis Rams, which is why they went to LA to begin with. But when they left, as we saw, they definitely missed their football.
Yeah. I mean, the Battlehawks are the toast of the league attendance wise. They average 33,000 plus, and I wouldn't be surprised if they open the whole doggone stadium up next year to bring it because St. Louis can make up a lot of money.
Yep.
Can make up a lot of money that the XFL lost. All they got to do is get permission to open the whole stadium. They open that whole joint up, then money's coming in because the Battlehawks are very popular. The what am I thinking of? The merchandise sales are going to be off the charts. The only other stadium where they could draw that much is the Alamo Dome, and we already saw the Alamo Dome only had 22,000 for a
Yes.
championship game. I mean, the Battlehawks were drawing 33,000 during the regular season.
Now,
Season.
with all that said, before I even really go into my take, what is your definition of bouncing back? Because we know they lost $60 million. If they lose $30 million next year, is that technically bouncing back? What is your definition of bouncing back?
If they turn over profit,
Okay.
if they do this right, have the championship game in St. Louis, and I love my Cardinals, but Cardinals be damned. Okay. And the other point where they lost a lot of money, and Dietz brought this up too, and you and I talked about it, March Madness.
Yeah.
Those 2 weeks, they lost a ton of money. So the bounce back has to come from different scheduling. It has to come from during the weeks of March Madness because it's going to happen. They're going to bounce right into you know what you do? You take 2 weeks off from the Super Bowl, okay? And then the weeks of March Madness, you play midweek games. For the simplest of reasons, there's no basketball. Okay. Part one. Part two, they still get their pleasure of um playing football that week and making an impact. And three, the fans come in. If
Yeah.
you do this right and you market it correctly, the fans will come back. It's like what baseball had to go through 3 separate times to bring the fans back. And all that, of course, started with the 1994 strike. And of course, there was a 2-day strike in 1987, but it didn't have as much impact as it did in 94 because it forced the cancellation of the World Series, cancellation of the playoffs, and people still think the Montreal Expos would have won it all that year. I think not. I think the White Sox would have won it all that year, but it would have been a Montreal-Chicago World Series. Be that as it may, if you market it correctly, and if you continue the deal, and I don't endorse that 4-letter network, but I will in this case because of the fact that they put the championship game and key games on network television. All right. Now, a lot of it is behind the paywall throughout the course of the weekend, but network television will save the XFL. Because if you look at the deal they had with NBC, new product, new everything, but Vince McMahon had his hand in too many pies. We all know that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
He did. Is out the pie. Now that his hand is out this particular pie, and he's having football people, Dwayne Johnson, football career, University of Miami, run the thing.
CFL.
Then you can bring it back. They can bounce back. They can bounce back.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson technically played professional football because he did have a short stint in the CFL, like his cousin Roman Reigns as well, who is the current undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But back on task, before I give my statement on this topic, this edition of the Sports Senseis Unleashed is brought to you by Meaty Sleazeball Subs. Don't beat the meat. Don't toss the salad. Just enjoy the sub. Brought to you by Sick Diggy.
Damn you, Sick Diggy. Damn you, Sick Diggy. He would have to say that. Good gracious.
That was great. Thanks, Sick. That was awesome. But with this topic right here, I actually have to disagree with Snowman. I don't think that they are going to bounce back this upcoming season. And the reason why, you lost $60 million motherfathering dollars. Okay. Now, Snowman, it's tough to go from negative 60 million to positive because you're saying they got to turn a profit.
True.
So even if that profit is only a total of $1 whole dollar, okay, that is turning a profit, then you would win this. But to go from negative $60 million to even profiting $1, okay, it's astronomical. And that's the best professional way I could say is astronomical size of a number. Now, is it attainable? Yes. Did Snowman lay the red carpet out for what could be a potential great plan moving it to St. Louis for the championship? Hell, maybe even doing the entire playoffs in St. Louis like it was the bubble, okay? Like we had the bubble 3 years ago, okay?
Yes.
Think of, if we did something, maybe not like the bubble actual format, but having the championship in St. Louis each of the games, like, Saturday, Sunday, each week, or however you want to do it, night and day, because those fans proved they will fill up that stadium there. Those fans over all the other 7 teams in the league.
Open the whole place.
Yeah, they proved it. They proved it because my team, the DC Defenders, they got as far as they did, right? But even with as great of a record, with the legend of the beer snake, everything, they could not even fill that stadium. Now, when you put all that in perspective, they went damn near perfect during the regular season and couldn't even fill the stadium. The Battlehawks didn't have as great of a record, but they were still playing great football behind AJ McCarron and Austin Prohl. Okay, between the two of them, taking that team on their backs and carrying them to, if they were in the other division, an actual playoff berth. But because they were in
the actual division title because they had a better record than Houston.
Yeah, but because they were in the same division as the DC Defenders, they were screwed.
Yeah.
And they had the third best record in that league. So if they would have had even the second best, which in most leagues, that type of record with that type of season would have got you in at least second place. Right. The way the structure of the whole XFL, it kind of screwed the St. Louis Battlehawks. But overall, I like what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Danny Garcia, which Danny Garcia's got more of a hand in the XFL, it looks like, on the business side of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does. Because
he does.
You know, The Rock's funding it is like came up with a big part of funding it. Him and the partners that he signed up with came up with a total of $120 million. The problem I have is you're already cut half of that. You've already spent half of that total. You know, you've only got half of your entire capital for the league left. So you're sitting at $60 million now. If you go negative 60 or more next year, you're technically bankrupt at that point. So you've got to not only like have more of a profit next year, like maybe even if you went negative 59 million, you still at least have $1 million in the bank, but you're still not looking good.
True.
Things are we may or may not have a 2025 season in the XFL, depending on how this next year goes.
True.
I hope you're right. I hope they bounce back.
Yeah.
I hope for great things, because the sad part is myself, you, and those of us out here who were covering the XFL, we were enjoying it. We were enjoying watching. Like, you wouldn't have thought that negative $60 million would have been a thing. Like, I had a feeling they might be in the negatives because it's your first season.
Right.
Of course, your first year in a business, it's hard to turn a profit, let alone not go in the negatives. Okay.
Right.
So I expected them to be in the negatives, but negative $60 million. Snowman.
I didn't expect that number either. In fact, Ryan threw a trivia question at us. Which CFL teams did Dwayne Johnson and Joseph Anai, I hope I said that right, aka Roman Reigns, play or try out for? I believe the team was the Calgary Stampeders.
It wasn't the Eskimos, but I believe it was the Calgary Stampeders.
I believe it was the Calgary Stampeders.
Didn't they change the Edmonton Eskimos name?
Yeah, they're the Edmonton Elks now.
That's what I thought. Yeah, because
after 2019, even the CFL got political hands.
Yeah,
even the CFL got political hands.
Absolutely, they do have political hands over in the CFL. It is definitely it's similar business wise, but it's different in so many ways compared to how things are running here in the States. Before we go to commercial break, though, I want to acknowledge some of the comments that we got here. David 3000 says, "I hope you have a great time, Snowman, on your vacation."
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And also Six says, "And the Slackjaw VPN, the VPN for slacking off like a two-toe sloth. The slacking be smooth." Thank you, Sick. We appreciate that. Special note on the opening statement of this show: Sunday, July 16th, Summer of Greatness, Greatest Sing-Along Songs live tournament with a special guest, Dietz, with his shameless plugging there for his Summer of Greatness.
Oh, that's Dietz. Why are we surprised?
Google Fit. No, I'll let you read this one.
I can't read this one. Because if I start giggling again, I'm going to lose it.
Google Fit is brought to you by Tickle Me Laughing Gas, the best stink to have people laughing hard.
Go to break, please. Please, because I'm about to lose it.
On that note, let's take a commercial break.
IRS, open up.
The IRS is the most feared agency in the country and has the power to seize assets, garnish wages, and even put you in jail for back taxes and unfiled tax returns. Don't be a victim. Call Kick IRS right now and let us kick those IRS problems out of your life once and for all. Our powerful team of tax experts will fight hard for you and will not stop until we've resolved your tax problems on your terms. And if you qualify, we may even reduce or eliminate your tax debt altogether. No more sleepless nights wondering when the IRS is going to come after you. Take control of your tax problems today and make the phone call. We have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we offer a 100% written guarantee, so there's nothing to lose and everything to gain. The consultation is free and the phone call is free. So pick up the phone right now and kick those IRS problems out of your life once and for all.
Call 800-807-8188. That's 800-807-8188. 800-807-8188.
Now, I'm known as the guy who can fix just about anything, but the technology in most appliances requires very special training to fix. And that's why my family has Choice Home Warranty.
Choice Home Warranty covers over 25 major home systems and appliances. That's your AC, heating, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and so much more.
Call Choice Home Warranty now before something breaks down.
Get protection for your heating, AC, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and more.
Call 800-973-6121.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now.
Call 800-418-8650. Call now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a show where Snowman had to take a bathroom break in between because he was laughing so hard at Sports Sensei Unleashed.
And welcome back to a show that is so technically unsound on my end that it has more commercials than a TNT hockey playoff broadcast. Anybody who watched the Stanley Cup Finals on TNT, I got nothing against Kenny Albert. I love Kenny Albert. Love the way he calls games. But you're going to put it on a paywall like TNT and not ABC like you did the year before? Yikes.
Absolutely. And speaking of the NBA, it's time to go into the next topic, and that being the Denver Nuggets' quest to an NBA championship during the 2022-2023 season was special, but will they repeat next season? How do you feel about this one, Snowman? Do you agree?
You know, as much as I love my Golden State Warriors, the Nuggets are complete, and they are completely healthy, and I believe they will run it back next year. I mean, you got the best player in the league in Nikola Jokic. Period. Best center, best player. The offense brilliantly runs through him. You got the best coach in Mike Malone, who made every adjustment necessary to not only take games 3 and 4 of the World Championship Series in Miami, just when people thought Miami had a chance in hell, they blew them out both times. Matter of fact, I'll throw this stat out there. The last 3 games of the World Championship Series, Miami was held under 100 points. And in Game 5, they were held under 90 points. That's defense talking to you right there. That's the adjustment that Mike Malone made before Game 3 when he surrendered 111 points and a 36-point fourth quarter to lose game 2. Had it not been for those 12 minutes, it would have been a 4-game sweep.
By only 3 points.
Yep. Had it not been for a horrible 12 minutes, had it not been for a horrible money period where he got outscored, where Mike Malone and the bunch got outscored 36-25 in that fourth quarter, this would have been a 4-game sweep. Now people can stop saying that Denver wasted a second-round pick on Nikola Jokic. I keep saying it wrong. Because Nikola Jokic is the best player in the league, period.
And if anybody says otherwise,
would you please shut the hell up?
Because he is the best player in the NBA right now, it sure as hell is not LaBust James.
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no, to the no.
And I know there are so many snowflakes out there that just...
You can't handle the truth.
Absolutely, you cannot handle the truth.
Because
I tell you what, Mike Malone is a party animal, as he showed during that parade yesterday or whatnot. He is rocking and rolling out there in those streets during the parade. He wants to do it again. He claims that they will run it back. They didn't say next season. He didn't say they're going to repeat, but he did say that this team will get another championship.
The 2 best teams in the Western Conference right now do not include Memphis, do not include the Fakers. The 2 best teams in the Western Conference right now, one is in Colorado, the other's in Northern California. Matter of fact, 3 best teams, Golden State, Sacramento, and Denver. Denver's on top of the mountain right now. It's going to be between those 3 to come out of the West next year.
What?
It's going to be between those 3 to come out of the West next year.
What?
You heard what I said. It's going to be between Steph, I can't think of this young man's name, De'Aaron Fox and Nikola Jokic to come out of the West next year, period.
Damn!
We're going to
Nice
see.
timing.
We're going to see. We're
Nice
going to
timing.
see. It goes. Thank you. I learned from the legends like Cole Johnson and you out here in these streets. I learned.
Hey, listen. We're glad to teach. We're glad to see young pups like you take it and run with it. The floor is yours.
Yeah, because ain't nobody got time to be hearing this.
You're fired!
I knew you'd spring that one on me. Damn you. I love you. Damn you for that.
I said it last week, and I forgot because of the way everything's gone throughout this past week. But I forgot to bring the acknowledge me clip. I will bring it back by the time you get back.
Please do. Please do. I want to see that clip, man.
I haven't made a formal announcement yet, neither have you. But when Snowman comes back from vacation, we will be moving this show back to Tuesdays.
Yes,
we were originally on Tuesdays.
Confirmed. And that is just confirmed.
Nice.
Ryan O'Neal, the fellow on WQEE, said no problem. And I got a whole bunch of updates. I'll do that at the end of the show. But with the Denver Nuggets, man, all they need to do is bring back the old school rainbow uniforms, and the transformation will be complete. But that's neither here nor there. The Nuggets are the world champions.
I mean,
until somebody knocks them off, they're the best team in the NBA.
Think about how impactful it would be, and I'm not throwing any shade or any slight or anything. This is real talk. How much of an impact would that have made had they worn those jerseys during the playoffs during this month? Because, with it being Pride Month and everything, I think there's a lot of people out there that probably they would have garnered a little bit more attention to the NBA Finals or the NBA playoffs had they rocked those uniforms. Because, when you think about it, there's a lot of people out there celebrating the month, no matter what your belief is on the matter. When you bringing that up, I just felt like they should have thought about that a little bit more.
They should have brought back the old school uniforms, and I think they will for a time or two next season. But again, acknowledge them. Thank you, Cool McCain. Acknowledge them. The Denver Nuggets are the 2023 NBA World Champions. Period.
Yeah, and when it comes to running it back next season, because I didn't. Wow, we were talking about Snowman's take.
I'll give you the floor. I gotta send a couple messages. I'll give you the floor.
All right. So I'll go ahead and solo screen on this one just so Snowman can take a minute to do his messages or whatnot. But when it comes to the quest to winning, to basically repeat next season, I don't think they're going to repeat next season. Snowman, with his take, he gave a really great take on it. I don't think they're going to repeat because there's many other great teams in the league. Like the Miami Heat proved they're something special. They just need to retool in a couple departments and tighten up a little bit because they have a great coach in Eric Spoelstra. He's already proven it before, where he's already gotten 2 championships before with of course, LeBust and the Raptor and all the other people that they brought on the team for those 2 rings. They should have gotten 4 straight ones with the amount of talent that they had and going to 4 straight NBA finals, but we're not going to bring that part up too much. But like Snowman said, you do have an aging Golden State Warriors team that with another piece or 2 can make the right moves and get back into the championship hunt. But the question is to be seen what they're going to do with their offseason because we don't know what they're going to do with it. Denver does have a great team going into next year. They're not going to lose much because they've added some pieces this year, especially with KCP. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was a big contributor and proved that he definitely was deserving of that first NBA championship he got with the then Fakers, but now he's with the Nuggets and earned a second one. There's many great teams out there. A surprise team this year for me and for a lot of fans out there, the New York Knicks getting to the playoffs and going as far as they did. If they add another piece or 2 and they build upon what they built this year, I wouldn't be surprised to see the New York Knicks representing the East in the finals. I don't think that they're going to potentially win it, but there's years ago you were saying that the Nuggets weren't going to win because they went 40-some years without winning a championship. They went 40-some years without even getting to the finals, let alone the Eastern Conference, let alone the Western Conference finals, I should say. When you put all that in perspective and the fact they went almost 50 years without winning an NBA championship since they got into the league in the 70s, you got to put all that in perspective. Think about it. We're talking about this team. The next team to come is the New York Knicks because it's been longer than the Nuggets have been even in the league since the Knicks got a championship. Because Snowman, help me out with this. Was it 1972 when the last time the New York Knicks won the championship?
1973.
73. Okay, it was a 72-73 season. Okay.
Yeah, 1973. They beat oddly enough, they beat the Lakers.
Yeah,
5 games.
So Phil Jackson was on that team as like a 6th man, I believe. And you think about everything he learned from that time frame and carried that on over to where the man has 11 NBA championships as a coach, 12 if you include his player one. And I think he was in the front office. No, he wasn't in the front office for another one. No, because when he left the Lakers, he went to the Knicks. And of course, we were just talking about them. They didn't go any far. But the point is, if we can sit here 10 years ago and have the discussions what we were having about the Denver Nuggets and Carmelo Anthony and the woes of that team to now in 2023, this team has an NBA championship finally. Don't count the New York Knicks out because as we've learned over the past decade, almost anything can happen. So there's definitely been an interesting situation there. Snowman, let's go ahead and go into the next topic before we go into commercial break, and that is the Tampa Bay Rays may have the best record in MLB to date, but will they fizzle before October? A little bit of baseball action for the Snowman. How do you feel about this one? Do you agree? Do you think they're going to fizzle by October?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll give you 2 teams that are going to fizzle by October. One is the Tampa Bay Rays. The other is the Texas Rangers.
Yep.
Do not trust nor believe in the Texas Rangers right now.
Well, DeGrom's hurt because of what's going on with DeGrom. DeGrom's a big reason why they're 42-26 right now.
He's a huge reason, and yet you just saw $75 million walk out the window for the next 2 years.
Yeah, because of his injury. Yeah. So, and that's a tough one to come back from. Like that's usually the toughest ones, but with the advancements of technology and the way surgeries and everything been going, we've been seeing a lot more success stories over the past decade with that.
Yeah.
When you got Tommy John 20 years ago or more, you were done. You were done. And if you did come back, you were a shell of what you once were.
And the pitcher that it's named after, who had the bionic arm, was the only one to survive that kind of surgery. Anyone else up until recently that had Tommy John surgery didn't survive. They just did not survive, and their career took a tumble because of it.
And Tommy John was definitely a freak of nature, especially when he came back from that. But and he proved that for many years, as like you said, it wasn't until recently where we've seen success stories because of Tommy John. Because like I said, 20 years or so or more, you got Tommy John, unless you were the man himself, you weren't coming back, or at least nowhere even close to lights out of what you once were. I'm going to agree with Snowman on this. I feel like they are going to fizzle out before October, and let me tell you why. Rays are 50-22 right now. I'll say that again, 50-22 with the best record in the MLB. When you look at the Texas Rangers, who are 42-26, they're the top two, like he said, in the American League. The only comparable ones to that are the Braves at the top of the NL East, which, come on, guys, that's not even a question anymore. Like, look at the Braves the past few seasons. They have bounced back to the dominant team that they once were 20 years ago. Not quite as dominant as I would say, because that team was something special, as I was a Braves fan 90s and throughout the 2000s, even to today. But the 90s and 2000s Braves, I'd say 90 to 2005 was their best time.
It was a fun time to be an Atlanta Braves fan. You know, Bobby Cox constantly taking them to the playoffs. They got their title in 1995. And come on, it's the Braves. Who's going to challenge them?
If people used to get so upset when you would see them on TBS Superstation all the time back in the day. But when you think about it now, at least they were a winning team that you were watching on Superstation. It wasn't like you were watching the freaking Marlins back then, who sucked. Okay.
Yeah. And this weekend, something Jay Spivey and I talked about. You hung out with us when we talked about this a couple times. Who's getting all the attention? The Yankees and the Red Sox, and they both suck right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Why isn't the onus being on not just the Rays and the Rangers and the Braves, but why not the world champion Houston Astros? Why aren't they getting a lot of network television love?
The Yankees at least do have a winning record. I'll at least give them that. But the Red Sox are at the very bottom of the AL East. Yeah, they still do suck. But the Red Sox are at the very bottom of the AL East at 34-35. And the two teams, actually, there's three teams that are like the lowly part of the entire league. At the third worst record of what I'm seeing, we have the 27-40 Washington Nationals, who just won a World Series half a decade ago.
And you know what's crazy? They started 19-30. 19-30 in 2019, and they wound up winning the damn thing. That's the crazy part. I want to bring two teams to light that are dealing with a whole bunch of hurt right now, dealing with a whole bunch of injuries. The other's my beloved Chicago White Sox, but at the same time, the White Sox can still win that AL Comedy Central Division. They're only 6 games out. Hey, shout to I forgot his name. I forgot his name. It's a sports talk host in Detroit.
Shout out to Joe something of another.
Yeah, Mike. I can't think of it. I'll have to look up his name. Let me look up his name.
Think about it. We'll circle back to it. Let me finish up with the take I was on before we got to that point. So 27-40 is the third worst team in the entire MLB. A shout out to the second worst team in the entire league, the 19-52 Oakland Athletics, who should move away from Oakland because of, one, their attendance, two, the way they play, because they flat out suck. You're 19-52. Get it together or ship on out, because we do not have time for that. And last,
the name is Mike Valenti that I was thinking of out of Detroit. Mike Valenti.
Mike Valenti, congratulations from elevating yourself from Joe something of another. Back to the statement. Now, we were talking about the Oakland Athletics. My number one shout out to worst team in Major League Baseball, a team that just literally, like the Nationals, around the same time frame, like a year apart, won the mother-fathering World Series, and that is the Kansas City Royals. Kansas City.
The Kansas City Royals.
How did you turn the clock back 20 years in such a short period of time? You have not sucked like this in quite some time.
Yep.
Now, at 18-52, you have the audacity to be up here like, we just won the World Series not too long ago. No, you didn't, because it feels like light years away because you are 18-52 and you suck. You suck. You're terrible. Get together or get out of the MLB. You are playing worse than a Class A baseball team.
Ouch. No lie to be found in any of those statements, but Drew's going completely off, and I'm letting him. I love what he does. Take one final break, and we'll come back and finish things up. These are the Sports Senseis, and boy, are they unleashed.
Absolutely. See you guys back in a jiff.
How would you like to get high-speed internet for your home for less than $2 a day? That's right. For about $50 a month, you'll get lightning-fast internet. Are you paying less than $50 a month right now for your internet? Then call Whole Home Connect right now for blazing fast internet at $50 a month with no price increases, no hidden fees, no contracts, no equipment fees. It's a great deal. And guess what? You can try it for 15 days. If you don't like it, you get your money back, but you're gonna love it, and you're gonna love the price. Internet for your home for $50 a month. That's less than $2 a day. Plus, no contracts, no equipment fees, and our 15-day guarantee. Call now.
Call 866-314-8900. That's 866-314-8900. Again, 866-314-8900.
If you're the kind of person that likes to drive a lot and your car is a little bit older and out of the normal warranty, keep listening. What's going on underneath the hood of your car? If your car is out of warranty, you're at risk of expensive repair bills. Now, for a couple of dollars a day, you can get an extended protection plan for your car. Hey, you love your car, so why not give it a little extra care? And make sure if something goes wrong, your bank account is safe. Literally, for a couple of dollars a day, you can give yourself peace of mind that you purchased a top-tier vehicle repair coverage plan. Call the Auto Protection Network right now and ask how you could save an additional $500 on your policy.
Call 877-845-0463. Call now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a show that despises teams that cannot win and the Dallas Cowboys, the Sports Senseis Unleashed.
You could have just left the statement at that, especially when you included the Dallas Cowboys.
It was hard to not get through that without dying laughing because as the commercials were going, the gears are starting to spin in my head.
Yes, of which way you were going to go when you came back from break.
Yes, and I'm not quite at 100 yet, but I'm getting closer and closer each day because it's like the first few weeks it was like literally a hamster wheel was spinning around in there. Like there's half of me that like still can function okay. It can still think, but the hamster wheel is making it to where it's slower to get out. Mm-hmm. Now, as it feels like I feel like I'm running like Forrest Gump when he had the bicentennial legs. And as he's running, the metal's flying apart. Okay. Because it's all coming back to me now. He's just running.
Man, that was me. That was me earlier this year, less than a year from cancer surgery and less than 2 years from blood clot surgery in my leg. That's me. I get it. I totally get that.
I'm gonna find that clip, Snowman. We're gonna find a way to use that metal
apart
clip.
We gotta find that clip because we're getting back to us.
Absolutely. And before we get back to us being there completely and our final topic of the day, Let's get some more comments from the fans and see what they have to say. Six says Google Fit is brought to you. Oh no, we already did that one. XFL Boost says David 3000. Dietz says they won't bounce back unless the course correct their marketing and distribution.
Bingo.
Very, very true.
Bingo.
Spot on, Dietz. Spot on. Battlehawks are my XFL team because I love the name. Absolutely. The only thing better would be if they were the Battle Toads. Yes, and if they had the Toads all in all caps like that, I definitely agree.
And they had the pause music for Battletoads.
Yes.
Anybody who's played the video game Battletoads knows the pause music I'm talking about.
Absolutely. They need to bring celebrities in on the pregame, make bets on the gameplay, and put them on the sidelines during the broadcast. That will bring non-football fans to care about the broadcast. What makes me think about that, when you go back and look at the 30 for 30 on Deion Sanders, back when he was in Atlanta, when he was with the Atlanta Falcons, you had MC Hammer on the sidelines and stuff like that, and famous people on the sidelines with him during that 1991 season. But when you look back on it, we really haven't seen much of that in sports since.
No, we haven't.
And there's reasons why, because so much attention can be taken away from the game itself and put on the celebrity, which in their own avenue, being on stage, whatever they're doing, podcast, whatever, you deserve your attention, right? But you don't deserve the attention when you're at a sporting event like that, taking attention away from the game. So that part, I'm a little bit, I disagree with about. I like everything else, the betting and everything, but the celebrities on the sideline, unless it's The Rock himself, because he is the owner or part owner of the NFL.
Unless it's him.
I don't think that we should be bringing that back, because history itself, when you look in the history books, that itself tells me that there was too much of a distraction from celebrities taken away from the game. So but good suggestion though.
But we got that. We got this one.
Yeah, we definitely did. Definitely. I didn't even know Ryan did that because I didn't see it till now. So thank you for that. That trivia question there.
The Rock tried out for the Stampeders, and Roman Reigns actually played with the Edmonton Eskimos.
Dietz, you are incorrect. Look at the championship belt up there. I know my wrestling. Okay, Roman Reigns is the WWE Universal World Heavyweight Champion. They've been saying it since he won the belt. And Seth Rollins is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Yes, they both say World Heavyweight in there. But if you go back and watch all the clips, the Bloodline storyline, because WWE actually recently put it was like an hour or 2 hours long. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it's like a Bloodline storyline where they added all the promos and like all the storytelling from the beginning up to present. And it's like a 2-hour movie. And you hear so much Paul Heyman saying, now introducing the reigning, the defending, the WWE Universal World Heavyweight Champ. He says it so much. That has been the moniker of it. Now, will they stop taking so much emphasis off the Universal World Heavyweight Championship part because we have a World Heavyweight Championship now? Yes. But you have to look back at the lineage and at the history of this championship. That's what's been said. Do not try to correct a super wrestling fan up here in these streets. Now, back to what we were looking at. Well, not every business necessarily turns a profit their first year. You're right, Six.
True.
But
true.
$1 million in debt, that's a lot to overcome.
It is.
Ryan McCarthy, Calgary
Stampede at total guess. Yeah.
Totally guess. The only
Stampeders.
team that I know. Yes. So, yes, he answered the question, too. So, we were all three on the same page.
Right.
Dwayne Johnson tried out for the Calgary Stampeders, and Joseph Anawai, a.k.a. Roman Reigns, played for the Edmonton Eskimos. So, we were wrong. So, thank you, Ryan McCarthy.
Actually, we said both teams, so we were both right.
We did say it, but the way it was answered, I have to give credit to Ryan McCarthy on that. Thank you very much for one being here in the comments, but for providing us with that trivia question. I appreciate that. It's Canada. They are more PC than the U.S., says Dietz. Dietz on fire today.
Yeah, Dietz is on fire today, man.
Brian Pillman, Flying Brian, also played for the Stampeders before entering Stu Hart Stampede Wrestling promotion.
Right.
Thank you, Stick. I love it when we have wrestling fans out here in the chat because
man,
I'm looking forward to bringing that show back one day. But it's something I can talk about for hours.
In due time.
Absolutely.
In due time.
Hey, my shameless plug was topical. Y'all were talking about singing songs in the car. Yes.
Yeah, I did. I'll say more about that in a couple of minutes.
This one I like seeing too. At Drew Willingham, it's a joy to hear you and Snowman laughing again. Yes, it definitely is.
It is. It's a joy to hang out with Drew for 1 hour a week and just have fun talking sports, man. It's just fun.
That's how it is. We definitely love hanging out here in these streets when it comes to this show. And guys, we'll get back to your comments right at the end, but we do have one more topic to go through before we get on out of here, and that is a little bit of Stanley Cup action for Snowman here. And I know he wants a little bit of Snowman action on the ice. And when it comes to that, does the Golden Knights Stanley Cup victory cement Las Vegas as a big time sports city?
Yeah.
How do you feel about this one? Oh, you think it does? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it Yep. Simply put, Vegas got to the Stanley Cup final in their first year. They choked away a lead against San Jose the next year. A little bit of doldrums, but they were still competitive, and now they have reached the top of the mountain, and now Vegas is solidified. I mean, the hell with the running Rebels. I hate saying that because I love the running Rebels, Stacey Augmon, Larry Johnson, and those guys, but Vegas is now a sports town. And thank you to the Vegas Golden Knights, and my buddy Rod Peterson would say the same thing. Thank you, Golden Knights, for legitimizing Vegas as a sports city. I mean, you already had Vegas as a legitimate sports city with all the casinos and the betting and the sports betting and everything else, and a lot of shows that are based out of Vegas. Now you have this. Now Vegas is a legit sports city. The floor is yours.
And
what the
usually
hell was that for?
Normally I would
what
do
in the
that.
Vita blue, yellow bellied, red blooded hell was that for?
Normally I would do that if I disagreed. Okay.
Right.
But
right.
In this situation, I do agree with Snowman. Had it been their first trip to the Stanley Cup Finals, I probably would disagree for the sure fact of disagreement, even if they did win. But it's the second time in 6 years that they have been to the Stanley Cup Finals, because they went in 2018 when they faced off against the Washington Capitals, who beat them then, which I was happy for them because Ovechkin deserved one after everything they've been through with the Capitals. Now, it did take them a little bit to get back to the Stanley Cup Finals, but they made the most of it. When they made the most of it this year by winning it all, and you think about how Las Vegas has grown as a sports city over just the last half decade since bringing in the Raiders. Okay. And the moves that they have made throughout, because of course, sports betting has been famous in Las Vegas for quite some time, decades, a century, whatever you want to call it, because of the lifestyle in Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay. Now, over the course of the last decade, we've seen a hockey team. We've seen now an NFL team. We're going to see an influx of more teams make their way from different professional sports entities, whether it be maybe not baseball, but I'm thinking basketball will get to Las Vegas at some point. I'm thinking that, maybe whether it's another type of league, another type of football team will get there. Of course, we've got XFL and all that stuff, but I think that there's definitely room for growth, especially when it comes from like basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We could definitely see more growth in Nevada, because Nevada, desert land, and out there's a lot of open space in certain parts of Nevada where you could put a sports team, especially that close to Las Vegas, because except for the heart of Vegas where you got all the businesses or whatnot, there's still ways to expand Las Vegas and get more types of sports teams out there. So I feel like that this was huge. This victory for Las Vegas in the Stanley Cup Finals was huge, because it's going to bring more attention to that area, to where more teams may want to relocate to that area because of the traffic that comes through there. You've got so many people going to Las Vegas to bet, okay? And some of them not some of them, but a lot of them are sports fans. You not only have betting there and people are on a high, they're going to win money. They're going to take that money and want to go see a great game, especially if you got a winning team. Now that you got a winning hockey team,
Right.
well, next you need to get the NFL team to win, which unless you change the head coach and some other
Unless
piece
you
there, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Unless Josh McDaniels loses his job.
Yeah,
And a competent coach come in, note the operative word, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out, but they're on the right track as far as a city with getting a championship now. They just need to make some other moves with the NFL team in order to get that in the direction because, it's been, Snowman, it's been about 40 years now. It is the 40th year since the Raiders won their last Super Bowl.
And
I believe. Yeah, 83 was it, right? Or 82?
Yeah, Super Bowl
84.
Super Bowl 18.
That was
the last time.
84.
Yeah, Super Bowl 18 was the last time the Raiders won it all.
Yeah.
And Super Bowl 37 was the last time they appeared in the Super
Was
Bowl.
when they played the Buccaneers. It was Gruden versus his old team when they
and
won.
Gruden chopped him down to size.
Well, I mean, because you had his assistant coach that was running the old team and using Gruden's old plays. So when you think about that, of course you're going to know that like the back of your hand. But we're 39 years away. We're 40 years away from saying the Raiders last won an actual championship in the NFL. So they got a lot more work to actually help bring a Super Bowl championship to Las Vegas.
Good luck with that. They're bringing a Super Bowl to Las Vegas, but it won't include the Raiders.
No.
Not this year.
Nope.
Not this year.
Definitely not. So, guys, let us know here in the comments how you feel about that when it comes to the Golden Knights Stanley Cup victory. We've gone through, some great topics within this show, but the one that I'm definitely looking forward to discussing is the update with Snowman. That update is, importantly, I'm looking forward to hearing. So what are you going to do with this vacation, man? What are you going to do with this time off? You have, it's been so long since you've had time off. And I'm one
and
that
not
stresses no days off out here.
And not forced time off either.
Yeah.
Health concerns.
I'm one out here that it's against taking time off, but in a situation such as yours with everything that you've overcome, you definitely deserve a little bit of a break because you and I over the course of the past couple of years when we've taken time off, it's been forced time off. It hasn't been actual we're going to take a vacation to go somewhere. You taking time off. What are you doing with it? Let us know out here in these streets. What's Snowman doing with his time?
Well, Snowman and Dr. K are headed to Branson, Missouri. We're going to check out some shows there. We're going to drive to the middle of the country. And as I said, we're going to put the windows down, open the sunroof, and just sing our hearts out. And 2 occasions we're going to celebrate. First of all, 6 days from now will be Jody's birthday.
Happy birthday.
And 3 days after that will be our wedding anniversary. It's our 4-year wedding anniversary.
Nice.
We didn't get a chance to celebrate last year because she was out of town, on a work trip in Utah. So we're taking this time to just go have some fun and go celebrate and just roll, man, and just have so much fun that I am probably going to call it a day after this and see what happens in the next 40 minutes. I know I got Clark Monroe scheduled for 2:30 this afternoon and Victor to carry me through the 3 o'clock hour. I just may put a halt to all of that and say, you know what? After we sign off here in the next 45 seconds, I'm on vacation.
Well, no, we're gonna be a little bit longer than 45 seconds. We're gonna be like another 3 minutes because I got to talk to for one, and then I got an announcement for one. But sorry,
that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a trip to Branson, Missouri. Spend a week there, just hang out and have some fun. Now, what is Drew's big announcement?
Well, first of all, I wanted to respond to what Snowman had to say because, I would say, I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you get to go on a little bit of a trip and get away from here. I was also going to encourage you that this show itself is a hell of a way for you to go on vacation from because
it is, man.
How great of a show it's been. Now,
it is.
I got a couple of announcements, and then I got one small swift kick in the rear end for Snowman. It's not that bad, but it is a little bit of a swift kick in the rear end to make him think about
Anytime you give me a swift kick, anytime you give me a swift kick in the rear end, I'm afraid.
I want this one for him to think about a little bit while he's on vacation, so he doesn't do this again. But anyway, back to what I was saying. First of all, I want to thank all of you out here in the chat who've been watching this show 24 episodes deep, especially from my return to this, because if it wasn't for you guys, the support that I've gotten, I would not be here 61 days after what happened. Okay. Because when it first happened, I didn't know if I was coming back, and especially not only that, but the way that I came back and with what's going on in the past week. Okay. Since launching SIRTOBA Media's YouTube channel and SIRTOBA Media's Facebook channel, I launched SIRTOBA Media's YouTube channel last May of 2022, but didn't do anything with it. We had like less than 10 subscribers. It was single digits. And now we're at like 66, 67 YouTube subscribers within 6 days. That's huge because it's hard. Algorithm in YouTube is hard. So to go from like 8 subscribers to 66 in a week, to get 50 in a week is huge. So it tells me that I'm not only doing the right things with producing the shorts and the things that I'm doing, but you guys are entertained. And if it wasn't for you guys getting entertained and giving me the feedback and watching this stuff, it wouldn't hype me up to keep doing this. To not only do that, but do the stuff that I did for this show today and all the planning and stuff that I'm doing for next week and beyond. So wanted to thank the fans there for that, as well as same type of situation with the Facebook page. We were at like 50 followers. We're now almost 600 in a week. Okay. So thank you all out there.
Wow. That's great, man.
The video that I did with the fire alarm now has like 16,000 views on Facebook. I don't know how.
Yikes.
I don't know how that happened, but apparently
it's Drew and it's comedy. That's how.
And it's authentic because that's how I am. It's just that whatever is on the top of my head, it comes out. But I first of all wanted to thank you guys out there, the Fanatic Feedback Zone from Snowman's Multimedia channels, because some of you have been following me onto those things too. And if it wasn't for the fans, for this channel, for Snowman, for my stuff as well, we can't do this without you, because if not, we might as well just be talking at a brick wall. Okay. So thank you all for the support. That's one. 2, again, next week, Sports Sensei's, it'll be the last Friday that this show is on Friday. Okay. The following week, we will be going back to our Tuesday show. So when Snowman's back on here with me, we'll be back on Tuesdays, 1:05 p.m. Eastern time. Next week, we will be on.
Yes, indeed.
At 12:05 p.m. And I'll put that announcement out later on in the week. I've asked Cole Johnson to be here. I'm hoping that he will, because when you look at the transitions of this show, it's all done by him. It's all him. And I wanted to offer the seat to him first because, one, I haven't worked with Cole in a while since we did Snowman in the Morning together like 6 months ago with the 3 of us or whatever. And I love talking with Cole, especially with the show that he's been on of mine with the Inner-Out Sports Debate. When you put all that there, like, I wanted to offer it to him first. If he doesn't come through, Ryan McCarthy, if you're still watching, I don't like to ever put a sloppy second part on there, but I did ask Cole. I did ask Cole first. Okay.
Yes.
Like, and I have to be honest with that. So if he can't make it, which he did say before, he's not sure, then of course I would like you to be here. And then from that, we have the Brian Snow show next Friday as well. I'll be doing. So you can check out that at 2:00 next Friday. And actually, no, I'm gonna do it at 3:00. 3:00 next Friday. Okay. And you can check out the Sports Senseis Unleashed at 12:05. And again, thank you all for being out here. And I gave you the SIRTOBA update. Snowman gave you his vacation plans, and we got one more thing to swift kick in the rear end before Snowman gets on out of here. Snowman,
what?
I work nights, right? Work till like 1 o'clock in the morning, right? So when I'm getting up today, I tune into Snowman in the morning.
Uh-oh.
This show, and I'm giving you a swift kick in the rear, and you need to stop saying 2 shows. You need to say your 3 shows, because the Sports Senseis Unleashed was created before the Brian Snow show. Go back and look.
Yep.
This show was 2 episodes in before you came out with that show. Mm-hmm. This show garners more viewership than what the Brian Snow show does. And people love the Senseis. So you need to put some respect on our name and say 3 shows. Stop saying my 2 shows. You need to say my 3, because this is yours too.
Actually, This one's all the way yours because you.
No, it's not. It
Yes,
is your
it is.
show too. Even before I started producing the last 2 episodes, it was still my show too because I was on it. So regardless, it is still your show because you are the other sensei. I can't do it without my sensei, even though you're going on vacation, okay? And someone's going to
You got it. You got it.
It's still your show, damn it.
I can't. Man, take us out of here so I can go on vacation, will you please?
Because Snowman needs
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm not 40. I'm 50. Figure that out.
So, thank you all for being here. Everybody stay safe out there in these streets because we have one more thing left to do. A badass outro. Everybody have a great weekend. For more, visit SIRTOBA.com, where the struggle is real to be awesome, as well as Snowman Multimedia Sports.com.